Greetings everyone, I'm Kevin and this is the first video in my new series, Project C1, where I will try to become a C1 fluent speaker of German. Wish me good luck. Okay, hi. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is determine what level I am. So as I said, I want to reach level C1 of German. So in German, or in any language really, there are 3 different language levels. And if you have learned any languages, if you're interested in learning languages, you are aware of these language levels, usually. So we have the A level, which is A1 and A2, beginning levels. A1 is very much beginner. You can make yourself understood in a very basic context. You can order coffee, you can buy ice cream, you can ask for very easy directions, but not understand more than that. You might not even understand children's books. So you have a very limited amount of knowledge of the language. And A2 is a little more advanced than that. And then B1 and B2 is intermediate levels. That's usually where you're at when you have studied the language for a few years. That is the level that my students are at in English in upper secondary school. We call that intermediate. So that is the B1, B2 level. You can make yourself understood in the language, but you're not a native speaker of the language. And that's where the C1 and C2 comes in. Those are advanced. So if you're C1 or C2, that means that you are a fluent speaker of the language. You have fluent knowledge of the language. You can go visit a country where that language is spoken and entirely rely on your knowledge of the language to get around. You don't have to go to another language. You don't have to do any kind of thing apart from using the language to make yourself understood. And the difference between C1 and C2, the reason I want to aim for C1 instead of C2 is because C1 is where most people are with their native languages. I am C1 with Swedish and English. I'm not C2 in either of those because C2 is more advanced. It's more academic. My grandma, for example, is a C2 in Swedish because she has spent so many years in Swedish universities. She has read so many books in Swedish, especially older books, classic books in Swedish. So her understanding of the language is a lot more vast than my knowledge of Swedish. And that is, absolutely fine. Someone who is a civil engineer in Sweden would have a more advanced and academic language than I have, because I haven't had to learn academic languages or academic words in Swedish that way, even though I did go to university for 6 years. I haven't had to learn those kinds of words or read those heavy textbooks in Swedish. So I don't have that, I don't have enough knowledge to be called a C2 in my own language, which is also why I don't plan to aim to be a C2 in German either. So with that said, the first thing that I have to do is determine what level am I at. So here I am in the Goethe Institute to test my German. Okay. Okay, so the results are in. I got 19 correct answers out of 30. 11 incorrect answers out of 30, but I answered every question. I assume that this means that I am on the B level. But apparently that means that I am level B1, B2, and that's where I'm gonna start off, I guess. So now that I know what level I'm in, I'm gonna go ahead and start my German reading journal and start studying some more German. And the idea is that in this little thing, I'm gonna write words that I don't know and grammar, everything really that I can come up with that has to do with German that I have to know. And there are just a lot of things that I want to be able to do, and I would love to be able to reach level C1, and I know that it takes a lot of time and effort in order to be able to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all of that, and I'm gonna try to speak in German. My German is not perfect by any means. My grammar is not as good as it used to be, and as you know from just watching me take this test, my understanding of German words is not what it used to be. But I'm gonna work hard to reach level C1 and get a certificate for it and be able to say that I am fluent in German again. I just, it does something with your identity when you are from multiple countries and you never really feel like you fit in, And I love being in Germany. Germany is amazing. I love Germany, and I'm just very happy that it is part of who I am. And so I would love to get back to the point where I can go to Germany and rely on German to get around and all of that. But as it is now, I can, talk to someone, but I would have to talk in English, and that person could speak in German to me. I could read books in German, listen to German, all of that, and understand. But when it comes to me coming up with the right words in that, then it doesn't really work that well for me anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. But I'm gonna attempt to speak German a few times, I promise. But this is now going to be like a monthly vlog kind of thing that I will take you on this journey with me, showing what it's like learning German is what I'm gonna do. Hallo. So, ich habe ich habe ein bisschen Grammatik studieren. Und das hier ist mein Problem. Grammatik. Ich denke, dass ich kann vieles Deutsch, aber meine Grammatik ist die größte Probleme für mich. So, ich habe diese Adjectival Endings machen, aber ich verstehe das nicht. Aber ich erinnere es von wann ich war im Schule Deutsch studieren. Ja, ich kann es nicht mehr. Ich erinnere ein bisschen, aber nicht so viel. So, das hier ist ein Problem für mich. Ich verstehe nicht, was ich soll machen, wie mit dieser Dingen. How to form adjectival endings. Ich verstehe das. Aber diese Tabellen, denke, es sollte Tabellen waren vielleicht. Aber die Tabellen hilft mir nicht. Sie hilft mir nicht. Das ist ein Problem. Diese Stunde, diese Lektion, oder ja, mit ein bisschen die oder das. Und das hilft vieles. Es hilft mir, dass ich habe die Struktur, dass ich kann ein Wort sehen und mit die Endungen, das ist nicht das Wort, ist das. Okay, so es ist Suffix, auf Deutsch ist, auch. Es hilft mir, dass ich kann diese Suffixe sehen, dass ein Wort, das endet mit Kite, ist ein feminin Wort und sollte die waren. So, und schafft auch. So dann ich denke, dass wir sagen für, du weißt, im Sport, die Nationalmannschaft. So, dann ist denken, dass Mannschaft ist die Mannschaft und nicht der Mannschaft. Ich denke immer, dass es ist der Mannschaft. Für es ist der Mann. Männliche Wörter sollte der waren und weibliche Wörter sollte die waren, du weißt. So, ich denke, dass Mannschaft sollte der waren, aber es ist die. Und das war ein bisschen eine Überraschung für mich. Aber ich mag diese Liste sehr, sehr viel. Ich weiß, dass mein Deutsch ist nicht perfekt. Ich weiß das. Und das ist, warum ich wolle diese Videoseries machen. So, ich will besser auf Deutsch werden. Ich erinnere nicht die meisten Wörter, dass ich weiß, dass ich kann, aber ich kann sie nicht erinnern, wenn ich sie sagen will. Das ist ein Problem. Aber ja, so das ist, was ich habe gemacht heute. Ja, das ist ein kleines Update.